Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Capital Wasteland. Today we're going to be checking out Kaelyn's Bed and Breakfast. This is just a small, old bed and breakfast, kind of like hotel, that is located, well, in the middle of the Capital Wasteland, directly north of Vault 106, really close by, actually. Now, this bed and breakfast would have offered a great view of the Potomac River during the pre-war era, of course. Today, it still offers a great view of the Potomac River, but in a wasteland that is very dangerous and a Potomac River that is filled with mirelurks. But that is the least of your worries when you're at this nice bed and breakfast, because now it is occupied by raiders. But besides that, there really isn't a whole lot going on here, so let's waste no more time and let's jump into it. And as I said, Kaelyn's Bed and Breakfast is located just north of Vault 106, just southwest of Fordham Flash Memorial Field, where we visited in the last episode. And if you approach from Fordham Flash Memorial Field from the northeast, then you will encounter this bridge that has a ton of raiders on it. These raiders are also in the line of sight of the raiders at Kaelyn's Bed and Breakfast, so often when you fight the raiders at the bridge, the raiders at the bed and breakfast will also get involved. Now, underneath the bridge, we can find a baseball from the nearby Fordham Flash Memorial Field, which is a baseball field, so it makes sense somebody hit a home run there. And then as we approach the bed and breakfast, there will be a couple raiders up top trying to kill me. The mailbox is rigged with a proximity mine, and there's a tripwire as you enter that delivers this Brahmin into your face, which dealt a ton of damage to me, so be careful of the traps when you enter, unlike me, who almost died. Then I took out the other two raiders, pretty easily, I might add. Raiders are becoming much easier as I progress in levels in Fallout 3. And then we could peacefully loot through the bed and breakfast, but honestly, there really is not much in here. We can find some junk food, we can find some kind of just junks that, could be used for crafting or something. On the second floor, we can find that it's in complete disrepair, just held together now by sheets of metal and a kind of makeshift ramp. The staircase is obviously gone. We can find somebody who was obviously tortured by the raiders, poor soul, and we get some beautiful views of the Potomac. Now, while I was shooting the scenic shot, I was attacked by Enclave, who I believe landed kind of near the baseball field, and they probably saw the fighting with the raiders and made their way over. So I decided to burn them to death using my flamer pretty easy, and then I could loot them for, well, whatever good loot they had on their bodies. And also, I just wanted to add that just north of Kaelyn's Bed and Breakfast is a small radioactive pond. Don't know how or why it got here, but hey, it's here. It doesn't really serve any purpose to the game. There's really no loot here, but just thought I'd point it out. And then from the bed and breakfast, we can see the Potomac River off in the distance. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Unexplored Capital Wasteland. Kaelyn's Bed and Breakfast is a pretty simple location with a pretty cool firefight. I really love the fencing in this kind of area where the skulls are on the fence. I just think it adds a lot to the atmosphere and is really cool. Alright guys, if you have any recommendations or ideas for future videos, future locations, please post them in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, until next time.